This episode of Access to the Arts is being made possible through the support of First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together. And by Phillips Drugs. Phillips Drugs is your good neighbor pharmacy with free delivery and Pill Pack 2.0. Phillips Drugs with 3 locations, East Side, West Side, or downtown Richmond, and online at phillipsdrugs.com.
Hi, Phil Quinn. Welcome to Access to the Arts. We're at Vicki Graflin's garden as we get ready for the Richmond Art Museum's Secret Garden Tour. We'll also talk about the Nettle Creek Players and the All Wayne County High School Art Exhibition. Thank you for joining us. Vicki Graflin has let us sort of hang out in her backyard to talk about the Secret Garden Tour that's happening with the Richmond Art Museum. Sean Dingworth is here to tell us more about that. How many years in a row have the Garden Tour been going on?
Yeah,
Sean?
believe it or not, it's the 18th year.
Wow.
It's netted about over $175,000 for the Art Museum in those 18 years.
That's fantastic. Okay,
Yeah.
so give us the details about
Sure.
the Garden Tour this year.
So this year it's June 23rd, June 24th. Tickets will be available at First Bank Richmond locations, of course the Richmond Art Museum, and the Tourism Bureau.
Okay.
So plenty of opportunities to buy your tickets early.
What do you like about this event that's maybe unlike some of the other fundraisers that you do?
Sure. What I like about it, well, last year we had 900 people, so a lot of people
Whoa.
go on this tour. So it's a great opportunity for, I think, for people to see Wayne County and what we have to offer. To get the opportunity to go into neighborhoods maybe they've never been into and see what a wonderful place we live. So I think that's great, and obviously it's an important fundraiser for the Richmond Art Museum, but I think more importantly it's a great community activity.
Yeah, so how many stops are on this year's tour?
Sure, we always try to have at least 5, and we have 5 this year throughout Richmond, northern part of Richmond, and a little bit on the east side as well. Sometimes we've had in the past where it might be all in a particular community. This year it's a little more spread out, but each garden is very unique and has something different for people to see.
You know, this winter has been tough on that. The people that have the garden tour stops, are they getting nervous yet? I mean, June's still a ways away.
They're getting a little nervous. That, you know, typically it's something, whether it's rain or it gets hot too soon. So it's something we deal with, and it's important, you know, to say it is a rain or shine event. These gardeners, they're used to it.
Right. They know their hands are in it. They know
Yeah.
what's going on. I can't believe 900 people
Yes.
come through. Has that grown and steadily built?
Oh yeah,
all the years?
it's steadily grown. More and more people come from outside the community. We have a gentleman who does 3 garden tours annually. 2 are in Ohio and 1 is in Richmond, and he says ours is the best. He comes every year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So this is also a regional draw tour. It's a tourism
absolutely
thing.
a regional draw.
That's fantastic. Sean Dingworth from the Richmond Art Museum, the Secret Garden Tour. It's coming up
Right.
soon.
It is. Thank you.
We're here in a garden that soon the weather's going to cooperate. Vicki Graflin is here with us. And how long have you been one of the stops on the Richmond Art Museum's garden tour?
Well, this is my second time, but the last time was in a different house where I was on an acre. It was a much larger yard.
Yeah. Well, tell us, so we're going to take it's still early in the spring. We didn't have a very productive, warm spring. So we know that this garden is still maybe under construction somewhat. So share with us some of the things that you'd like to have in your garden.
Well, talking about under construction, true gardeners change their garden out every year. I mean, they change something. They add a bed, they might take something away or pull something out, put something different in it. So it's a continual process anyway.
Yep.
But this year we had such a horrible winter with freezes, thaws. We had 70 degrees in February. So this year's going to be a little tricky. As I said, I've got like 20 rose bushes, and for the first time, I'm going to have to cut them way back, and I'm just hoping they're blooming by the third week of June.
Right, that's sort of our goal. Now, how you have been a part of the Richmond Art Museum and helping organize the garden tour for many years. Tell us what's fun about it. What do you like about the garden tour?
Well, first of all, every garden is different, and every year I think people come to see the different gardens to get ideas. And it's fun picking them out just to get our ideas of our own in the process.
Yeah, and how long have you been helping out on the committee?
At least 12 years, I don't know.
It's okay. I mean, it has grown, and there are a lot of folks that take a lot of pride in how their yard looks and their garden looks, right? I mean, it's pretty
Yes.
pretty.
Well, anybody that's a gardener, they're usually an avid gardener. I know I used to fix my dinner at breakfast time so that I could stay out in my yard all day and not have to be interrupted with going in and fixing dinner or serving it, and it's a passion. When I moved here, it was downsizing. The yard was downsized. I wasn't going to plant anything, and now I've got stuff everywhere.
What if you were to have a go-to, your favorite either bush or plant that you make sure that you have in the garden? Do you have a particular favorite?
Yes, I have lots of hydrangeas of different varieties.
Okay, all right. So that is your specialty?
Well, I'm not sure it's my specialty. It's just what I like and I think is the prettiest.
Okay, very good. Can we highlight some of the other structures there? Can we talk about some of those?
Well, one of the reasons people like to come to the garden tour are big pieces of metalwork and specialty items that are really one of a kind. You can't get them here. We get them, far away. This year we're going to have some plants and trees, I believe, for sale. So, you can get a lot of interesting things you can't find anywhere else.
Okay, well, I am looking at a praying mantis on your property here. Tell us a little bit about this good-looking guy.
Well, actually, Lance delivered that in his truck one day, and it had a big leopard bow on it. And a friend of mine, Donna Spears, had that delivered to me, and her calling card is if you have a leopard bow on it, it doesn't need a card. It's just from her. But anyway, that's one of my favorite things that I have in my garden.
That's fantastic, and it is important to have some other features besides just gardens. You want some other structural
Well,
parts.
it makes it interesting. Even rocks can be interesting, believe it or not. And you need to have a variety, not just metal things, but just cement things, and it just makes it interesting. Like the little sheep I got in an auction sale, and it just makes it more interesting.
Well, thanks for letting us come and snoop a little bit in your backyard, getting ready for the Secret Garden Tour. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Nettle Creek Players has been around since 1971. Great historic cultural tradition in East Central Indiana. It's a traditional summer stock company, which means that we bring professional actors from all over the country to live and work in Hagerstown for a number of weeks in the summertime. And during their time here, they rehearse and then perform a series of Broadway musicals and other theatrical presentations in a giant circus tent that we pitch on Main Street in the historic downtown district of Hagerstown for several weeks during the summer months. I was first involved as a performer in the 1980s. It was actually my first ever paid acting job. I was a junior in high school, and I was encouraged by my drama teacher to audition, which I did. I ended up spending 2 summers there, meeting professionals in the industry, and it really jump-started my career and gave me some focus with what I wanted to do as a professional actor and theater artist in my life. In the mid-1990s, the theater organization closed down. Some of the local industry there in Hagerstown had gone away, as did much of the industry here in the region. There was a bit of an economic depression in the area, so that aspect of the community went away for a while. A few years ago, I was approached by some members of the local business community in Hagerstown. The town was having a bit of an economic renaissance, and they wanted this great economic driver in the summertime to come back. So myself, along with some other folks who had been a part of the organization in the past and were still living in the area, got together, and with those business leaders, we put together a brand new 501c3, and relaunched the effort 3 years ago with a reunion concert where we brought back over 200 folks who had been a part of the organization in the past. They came back and did a reunion concert and seeded the idea of bringing the entire organization back to life, which we did last year quite successfully. Brought a group of folks in. They stayed in the homes of local residents who had a spare bedroom or a child away at college, and they housed them in their homes for the summer. And they performed the shows last year, and we had a fantastic turnout. We had nearly sold out shows for almost every single performance, and a great upswell of support from the community, corporate sponsorships, and individuals stepping up to make sure that we continued. So this year we've expanded. We're offering our first union contract through Actors Equity Association, which is an affiliate of AFL-CIO. We're able to bring in an actor out of Chicago who's a member of the Professional Actors Union. He'll be leading our effort this year as the lead performer in Stephen Sondheim's Into the Woods. We've also expanded the cast. We'll be hiring 8 professional actors for the company this year, and we've also got roles for local community members. So today we're actually here at Earlham College in Richmond, and we're having local auditions to try to fill out some of the other roles in the cast with folks from the local communities. In addition to Into the Woods, that's our Broadway show, we're also doing a music review. This year it's called Hoosier Harmony, and it celebrates Indiana-born composers. So we'll hear songs from Hoagie Carmichael and Cole Porter, but also John Mellencamp and Michael Jackson and everything in between. We'll hit the Hoosier Hotshots and the Ink Spots and Wes Montgomery and Harry Von Tilzer and Paul Dresser and anybody who ever grew up in Indiana and wrote music and is part of that. Babyface Edmonds, I'm sure, will make an appearance in there as well. Everybody that we can find to celebrate the music of Indiana. That particular show will also have a future life. We'll be writing it and creating it as a company. We'll perform it in Hagerstown, and at the end of the season in Hagerstown, we will take that show and move it down to the Brown County Playhouse in Nashville, where we'll perform for 2 weekends as part of their summer series. And then in addition to that show, we also do a third performance, and that is our family show. This year it's Master Cat, the story of Puss in Boots. And it's a family theater piece, appropriate for all ages. And it's also tied to a Young Actors Workshop camp. So we've got as many as 15 positions available for local students ages 10 to 17 to register for the workshop. It's a day camp that goes from 10 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon for 2 weeks. And the professional company of actors serve as the teachers for the workshop. And then the students get to perform alongside their teachers in the final performances of Puss in Boots. So they all come together to perform in the cast. As part of our mission, we want to make sure that we have community outreach all year long, even though the summer is our primary performance season. So for the last 2 years, we have hired nationally recognized touring artists who have established shows that they're taking around the country to various performing arts centers and community venues, and bringing them to Hagerstown for one-night only performances. And we try to tie those with some sort of educational outreach in the community. This spring, we're bringing in Drew Richardson, who he's known around the country as the Dramatic Fool. He's a physical comedian and a contemporary clown, and he has a comedy slapstick show that he does. And in addition to that, he is a creator of modern-day silent movies. Keeping that silent movie tradition alive in the style of Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin. So he's going to come in beginning April the 16th, and he'll be doing a residency at the Hagerstown High School for that entire week. We'll choose a group of 12 students from the high school out of the drama program. They'll meet with Drew after school every day for a couple of hours, and during that time, he'll teach them the basic skills of contemporary clowning and physical comedy, and they will film scenes for a new silent movie starring those students and filmed in and around Hagerstown. And then on Friday night, April the 20th, he'll perform his show, his public performance called What the Fool, at 7 o'clock on the stage at Hagerstown High School. And as part of that performance, in addition to his regular clown show, they will have the world premiere of this new silent movie starring the workshop students that he's been working with all week. The information is always available on our website, which is nettlecreekplayers.com, and on our Facebook page, Nettle Creek Players.
Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face, brush off the clouds and cheer up, put on a happy face, take off the gloomy mask of tragedy, it's not your style. You'll feel so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook.
What are you doing in those old clothes? And with a child? You must go back to the castle at once. There's a giant on the loose.
The giant has been to the castle.
No. Are you all right? My love, why are you being so cold?
Maybe because I am not your only love, am I?
Oh, I love you. I do. But yes, it's true.
Why, if you love me, would you have strayed?
I thought that if you were mine, that I would never wish for more, and part of me is content and as happy as I've ever been. But there remains a part of me that continually needs more.
I have, on occasion, wanted more, but that doesn't mean I went in search of it. If this is how you behave as a prince, what kind of king will you be?
An old memory, love isn't everything. Moonlight on the bed will melt away someday. Oh, you were once that someone who I'd follow like a star. Suddenly you've changed. Now I don't know who you are. Could it be that I never really...
I don't mean decadent, I mean decadent in a good way, like decadent and excessive, wasteful. That is not what I mean. What I mean is, it's good to have nice things in your life. I wish I had nice things in my life. I wish I had your car in my life. I mean, I'm glad it's in my life for tonight anyway, and I find that really just wonderful. And I find you fascinating. I mean, the thought of kissing you makes my stomach turn, but you have a really nice car.
I thought how, as the day had come, the belfries of all Christendom had rolled along the unbroken song of peace on earth, goodwill to men. And in despair, I bowed my head. There is no peace on earth, I said, for hate is strong and mocks the song of peace on earth. The dust of life, conceived in hell and born in strife, they are the living reminder of all the good we failed to do. That's why we know deep in our hearts that they're all our children too.
Vicki is gracious enough to let us hang out a little bit longer and talk more about the Richmond Art Museum. Lance Crow is with us now, and we're going to be talking about the all Wayne County High School art exhibition that's going to be opening up pretty soon, or could be underway depending on when you watch this. Tell us a little bit about this exhibition.
So this will be the 12th annual All Wayne County High School art exhibition. We're very proud of this program. It's kind of like the art sectionals, if you will.
Oh, sure.
Because you know, it's an important exhibit for. It's one of the only opportunities for our art students to display their skills to the public. and just show how much talent there is in Wayne County in the arts. So we're pleased with it. It opens this Sunday, April 29th, from 1 to 3 p.m. We'll do the awards ceremony at 1:30 in McGuire Auditorium, and that's also where we'll have School is Cool T-shirt award contest.
All right.
The winners will be announced there as well.
Yeah, so that's the Wayne County Chamber of Commerce School is Cool program, so it's a nice collaborative effort.
Yep.
The art exhibits that are presented by these high school students, talk about the caliber of the arts that we have in the programs at the high schools. Pretty good?
Yes. I think that budgets could be bigger. I'll have to get that plug in there.
Sure.
These kids need funding to buy good materials and good paints and to create nice things. That being said, they do an outstanding job with the materials that they have at hand. And you have to come and see the show to see what kind of thing. We'll have some images up on our Facebook and different things like that if you're interested in that kind of thing. But talent for these kids in 9th through 12th. I mean, last year we had a 9th grader win the best of show.
Oh, wow.
So there are really talented students of all ages, 9 through 12 in Wayne County in the arts.
And it's photography, ceramics.
Yeah, this is a multimedia show, so you'll see sculpture, ceramics, a little bit of jewelry this year, lots of photography, computer-generated art, painting, drawing.
All right, it's fantastic. And the thing is, don't have a lot of time to wait on it. This is not an extended show, so there's only a short amount of time.
Right, it's a 3-week run of an exhibit, so it'll end on May 19th. And I'm just excited to present. We have a traveling trophy. It's called the Artist's Palette. We introduced it at the 10th anniversary of this show. It's kind of like we had the horseshoe in Randolph County, in basketball. So I thought, what can we do to kind of get some school spirit going? So Lincoln has taken it home for the past 2 years, and I'll be interested to see which school gets to keep it for a year. So
that's great. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
It's the All Wayne County High School Art Exhibition opening up at the Richmond Art Museum on Sunday the 29th, and it continues until May the 19th. Don't miss it. Thanks again to Vicki Grafflin for letting us hang out in her Secret Garden tour. Their spot is going to be on that tour. You can find out more information by going to richmondartmuseum.org. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you again next time for Access to the Arts.
This episode of Access to the Arts has been made possible through the support of First Bank Richmond, with 8 locations serving Wayne County. First Bank Richmond and you, doing great things together. And by Phillips Drugs. Phillips Drugs is your good neighbor pharmacy with free delivery and Pill Pack 2.0. Phillips Drugs with 3 locations, East Side, West Side, or downtown Richmond, and online at phillipsdrugs.com.